I mentioned in one of my previous videos about sometimes with arcade gaming, money being the main issue, really. You know, how you can be so easily addicted if you were a rich kid and could afford to. Press start.
Well done.
Ah,
Treasure 100 points.
right. Yes, that's right. I remember this now. You had four different coin slots, and if you wanted to play as the warrior or as the woman, the wizard, or the elf, well, I say woman, Valkyrie, um, you had to put the money in the different slots, and obviously this has got on a more automatic player one slot. So I'm now some sort of hunky barbarian with an axe. Let me just turn tweet deck off, otherwise that's gonna annoy the shit out of me. Right, you can throw the axe. Obviously, you've got unlimited axes by the looks of it. Uh, you got these ghosts that you throw these axes at. They've got these generators, which are just like piles of bones that generate the ghosts. You got exits on each level, and you've got keys. Now the keys are for doors,
Say keys to open doors.
as the guy just said. Now, different coloured ghosts. You got grey. You got like a dark grey, light grey, white. The white ones take something like 3 hits to kill and whatnot. But it doesn't really matter when you end up getting fucking battered all shapes. Right? It sounds like I'm got some sort of. It sounds like some fucking Stephen Hawking's porn. Let's be honest.
That was
Right?
a heroic effort.
It was a heroic effort because all I need to do is keep pressing a button to chuck money in. Now then, you had an exit over here. You got an exit to level 4 if you venture deeper into the dungeon, and then if you go deeper even yet, even still, even more, whatever the phrase is, you got an exit to number 8. It means you lose more health, though. Pick the fucking thing up. Right, so if you go, I won't go straight to level 8. I'll just to show you that this was the kind of game that what this kind of game was. Ghosts must be shot, because that's what you do with an axe. You shoot them, obviously. Potion.
Potions for later use.
Now potions, if you press the right button, get rid of everything on the screen. Treasure. Those are the doors that you open with the keys. Now, I did finish this game. No, I didn't. I'll tell you what I did. When I was in school, this was out in around about 85, for the way it says copyright 85. Well, I left school in 87. So around about the time of this in the arcades, it came out on the Commodore 64. And I knew somebody who had a Commodore 64 at the time, and we used to game quite a lot. I used to go to his house, play loads of games together and whatnot when we weren't setting fireworks off and getting into trouble. And we played this game, and what we noticed in the game, now I don't know if I'm going to do it on the arcade, but if you just stood there and didn't do anything for about a minute or two, things just turned into exits. This was on the Commodore 64 version. Now, there we are. I don't know if that was just a cheat or whether it was you know, something that was built into the game so the developers could, you know, play through the game. No, I'm sure they wouldn't want to play through the game and wait a minute. I'm sure they'd do something whereby they could play test the game. Although saying that, it is Commodore 64 year, perhaps there wasn't that much play testing going on, I don't know. But either way, if you stood around for a bit, things used to turn into exits, like walls and stuff. And we finished. We went right through the game. And then I died. And when you die, if you've got more than one player on at the same time, you turn into a key. So I died, I turned into a key, and he picked me up. But if he hadn't have picked me up, the key would have turned into an exit if he'd left it. So we kind of almost finished the game, but we didn't. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I'm shooting grunts now, am I? Right. And this is about it, really. This is all it was for Gauntlet. I'm not really sure what else to say on it, really. You know, it was the first 4-player game I'd ever seen. I think there was I think there was a Ninja Turtles game came out at some point. I'd seen 2-player games like Double Dragon and Street Fighter and whatnot, but or maybe Double Dragon didn't come out until after this came out. I can't remember, but either way, I'd seen 2-player games. I'd never seen 4-player game before, and to have 4 people playing around one screen was quite cool. But you did have the difficulties of not being able to get off the screen. Ah, shit. You know, you have to all go the same way, otherwise you end up kind of not. I'm not even sure if that made sense, but what the hell? Oh, you can't get to level 8 anyway. Fuckers. Alright. That must be down here, is it? Oh, it's all the way around. Ah, the exit. Right, if you carry on past the exit on this one, you get to level 8. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it very well on the screen, but you can see that the ghosts are different colours. When you hit them once, they turn to the lower coloured ghosts, you know, the grey coloured ghosts. I suppose this is the safest way of doing it, is from a distance, but like I said, it's not costing me any money. I could just chuck money into for the credits as it is now. Should we go all the way over to number 8? Oh, I'm going to potion of iron. I've never seen such bravery. That was a good thing as well. You can fire through if you've got things at an angle. Demons, right? You can kind of fire through that way. Oh, they chuck stuff over. That's right. Evil bastards that they are. Sorcerers now. Fucking hell. Bunch of fucking Gandalfs. Bit of food. Thank you. Ah, is it now? They managed to spawn through the walls over here, do they? Oh, will you fuck off chucking bombs at me? Alright. Oh, fuck, it's like a fucking police car. Oh, that's right. Those are teleporters, I think. You can, if you don't have keys, you have to go a different way, and transporters move you to the closest. Ah! I think I destroyed a potion then when I wasn't supposed to. Let's just hide by here. What I'll do, I'll leave it now for a minute. No, I won't. I'm being attacked. I'll leave it for a minute just to see whether or not the arcade version was any different to the Commodore 64 version, whereby if you stood still for a minute or so, it would change like the walls and stuff into exits. Might have just been a glitch in the game. I don't know, because I remember playing Arkanoid. Before I got my own Commodore 64, I had the VIC-20. Before I had the 64, I had the Commodore 16. But he had a Commodore 64, which then led to me getting a Commodore 64. But whilst it was his, whilst he had one, I remember playing Arkanoid and something glitched in that game, and I ended up with something ridiculous like 90 or 70, 80, 90 lives. So I finished that game with all the lives that I'd accumulated. Right, okay, it's been over a minute, and I'm not that fucking fussed. Just want to try and get to an exit now. I don't even need to get to an exit, let's face it. I can just stop playing, can't I? The thing is, I've stuck so much credit onto his into his life that I'm not going to wait for that to. I shall leave him die. Oh, that's a bit daft. So the death guy just disappears then. Ah! What trap? There wasn't any trap. Oh, I couldn't see any fucking trap. Right, so if I do that, I go to that one. And I go to that one. I do like the sound of the transporters. Doesn't, well, I don't know. Does it? Does it sound like something that could be medieval? But am I? Is this screen just simply scrolling and never ending? I can't work it out. I can't work out whether this is a huge level or it's just something that scrolls and you come to the other side of the screen. I guess it is. And I guess I'm fucking not playing anymore. There we go. Gauntlet.